Hey everybody and welcome. So I want to make a video talking about, is this a great bike to buy without really upgrading it, and is this a great bike to get to start your first upgrade platform? Second is yes. The first is a bit of a question mark because this is a great buy. This is a great buy and great ride, but I think there's a few issues that could be addressed to be removed if you gone through probably about 3 upgrade options, maybe just 2. But yeah, one biggest thing is you would want a chain guide. That's the biggest thing you want to do. But the only way you're going to be able to get a chain guide on here is if you replace the cranks with the new cranks, because the current chain ring for the front is too big for most chain guide systems, especially the one that I have. I'm not sure if you can find one that's bigger for a 48 tooth or something like that, but the only ones I find that are around a 30 to a 40 tooth system like this. But this has been phenomenal for me since I got it and changed it to a standard smaller ring size, and it's worked phenomenal. This thing is awesome. I've not had any chain slips as I've been riding this with this chain guide on here. It's been really great. So that's, I know it, people are going to say, well, that's not going to be pre-made. It's not going to be something that I'm not going to be upgrading and all that jazz. So if I do get it, then I have to do that. It's a bit of a question mark, but I say that with the chain guide and replacing the chain ring and cranks to something that's compatible with replacing the chain ring itself is something I would suggest doing, because this will give you much more reliability for the entire bike to perform correctly versus having the chain sort of flip off. Because with the stock derailleur, it is really a lot of play into the stock derailleur. That means that this change is going to go blah, 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 even from the slightest bumps. So this thing is going to go and bounce around from the slightest bumps, and that causes this to come off the chain ring position, and basically there you go, you got your entire system just jumping off the chain ring ability. So chain guide and new cranks is a must. If you want, you can also do replacing the chain, the derailleur system for a different one. I have a Shimano 9-speed derailleur, which is a lot more tighter, as you can see, and it has 3-axis systems. So basically this churns, this goes in and out, and this arm also churns, as you can see. And it's been phenomenal. I've not had any chain jumps or any drops or any issues like that. But yeah, those are the 3 to 2 main upgrades I would highly suggest doing. I mean, you don't need to change the bottom bracket down here for this hollow system, but if you want, that's a $50 upgrade. Although you will have to sort of grind down the pedal assist sensor and put it on this side instead of on this side, because it's not going to fit. And don't do what I did for my mistake, is trying to look through the speed control and see if you can reverse the sensor, because there is a screw on the pedal assist sensor piece that you just take off and you flip it around and you put back, and it basically will work smoothly again. So you can put it on either side. I didn't know that, and I screwed up my pedal assist sensor and previous speed control. That's why I have this. And I'm not sure about the speed control, but you might be able to upgrade it. This is just a 3-pin twist throttle with a power switch, so you might be able to actually place the pedal assist sensor for that. I'm still not fully positive on it, but it is just a red, black, and white cable system on the pedal assist. So maybe, I'm not sure because this is just the same thing, but yeah, it's a question mark for that. But if you can keep the pedal assist sensor like that, then yeah, I won't really change it. I mean, it's pretty okay. It's just that you have 3 different power levels. But as an upgrade platform, this thing's amazing. I mean, you got the flush mounted battery down here. You can upgrade for a rack battery here. You can put mid-drive system, I'm pretty sure, down here, or just use dual hubs for back and front, and then keep the mid-drive just standard. The fork system can be upgraded. I mean, a lot of people despise the fact that it has V-brakes, but like I said, this is a great upgrade platform because dun 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 dun, it has the ability for disc brakes. Yes. Now I know everybody's saying, well, no, it doesn't, because it doesn't have it for the front. Actually, a lot of people will be upgrading that crappy front fork anyways, so that means you can have disc brakes, because most modern disc brakes, I mean modern forks nowadays, have a disc brake mounted position piece. And even though the front wheel doesn't have rotor mounts, you obviously would get a new front wheel anyways, either with a front hub or standard wheel that will also have rotor pins on it, or you can easily just replace the hub itself, keep the wheel, and then respoke it and all that stuff, and boom. I mean, it's right there. So rotor in the back has the disc brake option ability, and it also has the mount piece which allows for disc brake in the back. And then once you replace the front fork and tire, you basically have disc brake in the front. So it's fully compatible for disc brakes, or you want to stay with V brakes. Either way, for me, I'm gonna buy the Solo Air fork. It's basically an air chamber fork instead of spring, and it has the option for both systems. It's about $250 on Amazon at the moment, and it's pretty nice. So we'll have V brakes and a disc brake mounted position. So that's really cool. But if you guys want to go a different route, there's tons of options for a disc brake mounted fork system, and it also uses your common threadless system like everybody loves. And for another option that everybody loves, is this can be upgraded to have a dropper post, because it is a 27.2 inch seat post mountability. If it was a 25.4, it wouldn't be able to work, because the lowest for the dropper post sizing is only 27.2. But you have that option because that's that for this bike size. So you have dropper post ability, disc brakes, upgradable forks, and threadless design. And you have you can put dual hubs because you can get a rear rack system. I'm still looking at a rack system that I want to get that has the ability to mount from these pinpoints, because it doesn't have side mounting pins that sound the axle. The actual axle pieces. But you can see that there are screws integrated into the frame to allow for a rear rack. Or you can always get sorry, my throat's being a butt. Or you can always get a either a 3 two or one position mounting rack system if you don't want to go for a second electric system, or even if you do go for a second electric system, you just put the batteries inside the actual pack instead of having the rack battery on the bottom and then the pack on the top. There are racks that can mount around the loops of these, although I probably wouldn't really do that for this area, for the bottom, because you can see that there's a loop for the shifting mechanism, so it's not really integrated in there, but maybe you can do it, I don't know, maybe in the back, I'm not sure. But there's mounting systems for the seat posts that you can do that basically have a rack that floats back, and you can put your batteries like that. But yeah, so it's versatile for its upgradability and such forth. You just can't put a 3x7 or 8 onto this bike. It has to be a 1x such forth in the back, because the front has this kind of odd shape seat post tube system in the back. This right here is not really round, so it's not going to be able to fit a actual front shifter system. So that's why I put the chain guide here, and that's mounted down here by the actual bomb bracket system. Just sort of fits in there, squeezes in there, and hangs. And you can either use external, like I have, or you can use internal systems and whatnot. So it has that flexibility. And then you have the integrated battery that has cable routing through the bottom that you'll have to take off the bottom piece and whatnot, and then route it through and then put it back together, all that jazz. But yeah. And then if you go with the standard clamp seat post right here, as you can see, like I did, you can run your power cable from your rack down through the seat post itself, because there is a little hole at the top. You can run power through the seat post instead of X cabling like you can see it right now, and then it just goes down here and goes up here. Or if you get a mid-drive system, there is a hole down here that you can run your cables just straight down to your direct battery. So either way, it works. I mean, this bike is like the best upgrade platform for the system. I mean, everybody's gonna say that it's probably it's a cheap crap bike, but the versatile upgrades that you can do to it is phenomenal. And it's aluminum frame, so it's nice and lightweight, but it's very tough. I know a lot of people are also gonna say, well, it's a Walmart bike and all that jazz, and it's pretty crappy. But I mean, you can upgrade even a expensive bike the same way, which they do. The only thing that's going to be different about the Walmart bike compared to an expensive bike is the main frame. The main frame is what makes the complete difference of what you're going to be working on your bike. So that's it. That's all there is. So if you don't like this bike later down the road, you can just take all of your upgrade parts off, boop, switch the frame, put different frame on, boop, and boom, it works. I mean, you might not have just V-brakes attachments for the new frame, but yeah. And since this is also a hardtail, like I said, you can use the seat post rack system and it won't jump on the tire, compared to a full suspension bike that you have to do a little bit of research to see how well that works for your back playability. But other than that, yeah, it's like epic. So anyways, I will see you guys later, and peace out.